Good evening on behalf of My Retired Life Foundation. You are able to hear me, Udaji?
Yes, I can hear you.
On behalf of My Retired Life Foundation, we extend you a very hearty welcome for this interesting talk. But before we start today's topic, uh, let us remember this particular day because this is one of the sad days of the contemporary Indian history. There was a very tragic Pulwama attack, and 40 of our CRPF people, if you remember, on 14th of February 2019, there was a Pakistani sponsored terrorist attack and fought on the Jammu Kashmir highway in the Pulwama district, and 40 of our brave CRPF people are martyred. In memory of them, let us maintain 1 minute silence before this particular program starts. We request you to kindly maintain a silence. Om Shanti. We welcome you once again to this very important program, a spiritual talk on the very important topic that happiness is by choice. That means you choose to become happy or unhappy. And to talk on this particular topic, we have our own member, a very respected member, Uday Acharya ji. All of you know about Uday Acharya ji, but those of you who do not know, let me say a few words. Uday Acharya ji is a Vedanta scholar, and he is a very senior disciple of His Highness Swami Dayanand ji. He delivers the spiritual talks and the talks on the various scriptures on a very regular basis, on online and offline. He's also as known as a very renowned soft skill and other type of training activities. He does the training activities. He also runs his own trust, Vidya Bharati, which is a trust which is dedicated to the health and education. He's a known personality in the city of Bombay uh, as regard the Vedanta scholarship is concerned. So I request Acharya please take the floor to talk on this important topic of happiness is by choice. Acharya, floor is open to you.
Just a minute. सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां न वन्दे गुरुपरम्परा. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Namaskar to all. Thank you, Sen Gupta ji. You have been very kind to keep inviting me again and again to this honest, rather august audience. I feel very proud to be one of your members, and I look forward to a great interaction between the participants. I just will start with a question. We all want happiness. We all are working for happiness. Why is this topic so attractive? Why is this topic about happiness so attractive? when we all know what is happiness, we are all working for happiness. Okay, so what is it that makes happiness something very elusive? So I want some responses from you. Anyone? I'll open uh, the stage to the audience. So can you tell me why is this topic so attractive? And what is it that prevents you from saying, I am happy?
It's very fleeting. It's there sometimes, it's not there sometimes.
Okay,
So it's not permanent.
it's not permanent. Very nice. Okay, so anyone else?
Acharya ji, I am Rajesh here.
Yes, Rajeshi.
Acharya ji, I feel that our expectations are a lot from ourselves and our fellow beings, and maybe somewhere this matching expectations is not per as our thinking goes. I
Okay.
feel that can lead to the state of unhappiness.
All right. The expectations are far higher than your actual
Needs.
not even needs, but your actual gains.
Right.
I can say, right?
There is a happiness.
Money also can't buy. Money can't buy happiness, na? We think we are well off and we can buy happiness, but that is not possible. It is a very simple and easy thing to get. That is, you have to make up your mind.
Okay. We associate happiness with money, and money cannot buy happiness. That's very interesting.
Acharya sir,
Acharya ji,
happiness has an impact on our health. And once we are healthy, we can enjoy anything on the earth. If we are not healthy, then
Okay.
we cannot enjoy anything on the earth, whether it's the post, whether it's a money, whether it's a materialist things. Nothing we can enjoy without our good
Okay.
health. And
Okay.
good health comes from the happiness only. That is my
Okay. So
Acharya ji, can
Yes,
I
ma'am.
say something?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
What I feel now when when we do something good to others, that makes us happy. It's an attitude also, isn't it?
So happiness is an attitude.
Acharya ji, living in present is happiness.
Living in present is happiness.
सर,
अच्छा,
जो भी
आचार्य
कुछ
जी।
अपने मन जैसा होता है, जब भी
हाँ जी।
हमारे मन जैसा होता है उस टाइम हम हैप्पी रहते हैं.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Acharya ji, happiness
बोलिए।
is a state of mind and the mind keeps on vacillating, so we are never happy.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Any more responses? We have talked about health, we have talked about attitude, we have talked about state of mind, we have talked about money.
Situation of the country also makes us generally it makes me unhappy, sir.
Okay, so वातावरण
Thinking
बहुत
about the
खराब है.
corrupt people, thinking about the unpatriotic people. Sometimes I feel
Okay.
very unhappy about
Okay,
this.
okay. So the surroundings are not very helpful.
Exactly right, sir.
Right, right.
Happiness is when you know you have no more desires and you feel satisfied. You don't have ego, and that's
Okay.
the stage at which you feel happy.
Okay, so freedom from ego and when you're fully satisfied, when
That's
you have
right.
no desires.
Yeah.
Right.
Happiness is not only the state of mind, it is our very own nature as per the soul. But as the worldly things, we are attached so much, involved so much with ego and lust and money and greed and everything, that we trying to achieve happiness outwardly, whereas happiness is within us.
Is
Thank
within.
you.
Very nicely said. Very nicely said, sir. Very nicely said.
This is happiness to me is actually being at peace with oneself and the surroundings.
Yeah. When we see others happy, we also feel happy like that.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Acharya ji, hello.
Happiness is accept everything as it is, it comes.
Okay, accept.
Acceptance is very important.
आचार्य जी, प्रणाम।
हाँ जी बोलिए।
चाह गई चिंता गई, मनुआ बेपरवाह। अगर चाहे और चिंता समाप्त हो जाए तो मनुष्य सदैव प्रसन्न रह सकता है।
अच्छा अच्छा, okay. So stop worrying, start living.
Happiness is to me, Acharji, is thinking in fact more about ourselves, our wealth, our position, our power, and less about the society. So we
Okay.
need to bring a balance, then only we can get happiness.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you all for your responses. So probably what I'm going to say is going to be a summary of all what you have put together.
हेलो आचार्य जी, हेलो
हाँ जी बोलिए।
नमस्कार, मैं भारत भूषण बोल रहा हूँ।
हाँ जी भारत जी।
हमारी कुछ अपेक्षाएं होती हैं, सपने होते हैं,
हाँ।
इच्छाएं होती हैं। जब वो पूरी होती हैं तब हमको आंतरिक प्रसन्नता मिलती है। तो एक्सपेक्टेशंस का पूरा होना ही हैप्पीनेस का एक कारण है।
Okay, fulfilling your expectations. Very
Yes,
nice,
sir.
very nice, very nice. Okay. Okay, thank you for all your responses. I'll just put it all together. We all want happiness. We are all working for happiness. At the same time, we are not sure what exactly is happiness. We are not sure what exactly is happiness for the simple reason that happiness seems to be coming from different directions, and the same things that give us happiness also gives us problems. If you say money is happiness, money is also a problem. There was this rich man. He was into a lot of businesses, and he had hoarded a lot of money. One day, a thief came and took away all the money. And this rich man, he discovered the theft next morning, and he was heartbroken. So all the money that he had saved over many years, it has all gone away. So his happiness quotient became 0. Now, in a few minutes, there was a knock on the door, and when he opened the door, he saw some people with ties and coats, and they say, "We are from the income tax department, and we have come to check. This is a raid. We have come to check how much money you have hoarded illegally." So this person was so relieved. He says, "Please come in and check all the cupboards. You will find nothing there." So the same thing, the money that gave him happiness earlier, now has become a problem when the income tax people have come, and he thanks his stars. He thanks that robber who came and took away all the money, because now he does not have to worry about his tax issues, right? The same thing that gives you happiness can also give you sorrow. This is very common in the West, especially. So marriages do not last more than 5 to 10 years. If you reach 25 years, it is supposed to be a great event. For the simple reason that the person who you get married to, so is a person who attracts you, gives you a lot of happiness, and when the time comes for breaking the marriage, you give the reasons. The same person who gave you happiness earlier is the person who is giving you a lot of unhappiness. Okay, the person has not changed, but your relationship with the person has changed. So when we talk about happiness as a relationship or money or a possession, something that you have for a long time, we were interested in investing in a house. So once we managed to get that loan and bought the house, so our heart knew no bounds. It was so happy. Finally, we got that house that we desired. And very shortly, within a few years, we saw that the house has developed leaks, and the interest payments have become a bit heavy on our pockets. So we found the same house that gave us happiness now becomes a burden. Okay, we say, "Kya musibat hai?" We wish we had never bought this house. So is it that happiness is something that runs away from us, or is it that we label the wrong things as happiness? I think this is our issue. Do we, are we very clear about what gives you happiness? If you are very clear about what gives you happiness, you can have a one-track mind and pursue that happiness and get it. Think about it. You are all grown-up people. You are all adults, and you have got a lot of experience. So at least 60 years of experience of life, many of you or most of you. All of you have been achievers in your own way. So if you are very sure about what is happiness, each of you would have worked for it and said, at this point in time, I am fully happy. Because happiness is something that is your prerogative. You can choose happiness and you can work for it and you can gain it. If you're driving from Bombay to Goa, you can choose how you want to travel, whether you want to take the direct route or you want to go, you take a diversion and go, whether you want a driver with you or whether you want to drive yourself. If you want, you can take a cab and go, you can book an Uber and go to Goa. There are so many options are there, right? And you can also choose whether you want to go alone or with your family or take some friends along with you. All this is a choice. As a grown-up person, you have a lot of choice. So tell me, as an adult, do you have choice to work for happiness and get it? Most of us are working for happiness. We say we want happiness. In the process, we find a lot of obstacles. When you are driving from Bombay to Goa and you find that the main road has been closed down for repairs, do you return home or do you take a diversion? What do you do? You have a choice. You can come back or you can just sit down and there fret and say, I wasted all my time. There's no point in going home. Now just let us sit here and wait for the diversion to open up. And you don't know how long will it take. You have a choice. You have a choice. You can come back home, you can take a diversion, or you can change your destination. You can change your destination, right? So the same thing is true of happiness. Happiness also is like Goa. If you find that you're not happy because of some reason, you can choose to take a diversion. You can choose to overcome that obstacle. You can choose to change your destination and say, happiness is not here, I'm not getting it. Maybe let me try something else. We have a lot of choice. Okay, so let me put a lot of things that you have told me. Let me put it in short. What prevents you from being happy? One is our fascination with objects, with gadgets, with novelty, our fascination with things that are new. Oh, ये कुछ नया है, जरा देखने जाएंगे. That is why many of us are movie addicts. We want to go to the first day, first show, because it is something new. It is so new that we are fascinated. Doesn't matter whether it is a good movie or not. When next day, when you read the reviews, you agree with the review, this movie was not worth seeing. Okay, but then you're so fascinated that it's a new movie and you want to see it, never mind good or bad. So there's a fascination with new things. There's also fascination with gadgets. We want all the time to be with gadgets. We want the cell phone, we want the laptop, we also want the surround system, we want a smart TV, and we want all the net to be on all the time. We also want a lot of automatic remote controls. We want the remote in our hand so that we do minimum work and we get maximum return. So this is the fascination with gadgets. In the process, our mind becomes so occupied with those gadgets, we start becoming dependent on them. And the more dependent on them we become, we find we ignore our routine, we ignore things that are important in our life. A lot of people have told me, in fact, the spouse comes and tells me, my husband has got a new mobile phone and it is his second wife. Okay. So the gadgets replace relationships. The gadgets replace your life. When that happens, we find that even though that gadget is fascinating, we are fascinated with it, but it cannot give you happiness for the simple reason it distracts you from your life. Your life is going in one direction. Your fascination with gadgets takes you into a different direction. You lose track and then you end up saying, I'm not really happy. There is fascination with relationships also. Some people are relationship addicts. So you keep on going from one relation to another. And either that or you get into a relationship, and even if it is not a healthy relationship, you get caught up in it and you cannot come out of it, nor can you enjoy it. So many people get stuck in this type of relationship. It's a bad relationship. To come out of this, some people change the relationship. But when they change the relationships, the same thing keeps happening there also. So every relationship is a bad relationship. So these are the things that prevent you. Greed, the greed for money. I want more money, I want more money, I want more money. That becomes a problem for, it becomes an obstacle to happiness. Yes, some people said money cannot buy happiness, but it can make you comfortable enough to search for happiness. Okay, money cannot give you happiness, money cannot give you fulfillment, but it can make your journey comfortable. So at least you can search for happiness comfortably, right? The problem is, if you make money the purpose of your life, you find that it becomes an addiction, it becomes an obsession. When money becomes an addiction, in the beginning, money gives you a joy. As you go further and further, that joy keeps on reducing and dependence keeps on increasing. This is the story of any addiction. You start the drink or the smoking or a relationship, it starts very sweetly. It is very fascinating. It is like Sita saw the golden deer. It is very fascinating. And you keep on running after the golden deer. In the process, the deer vanishes and in its place, something else comes in. So the fascination goes away, but the dependence keeps on increasing. The happiness goes down, dependence goes up. Until a point comes, there is only dependence, there is no more happiness. So if you're dependent on money, the same thing will happen. You become more and more dependent on money, and the more money you have, the less you are able to enjoy it. The more money you have, the less you are able to enjoy it. Think about it. A poor person, when he gets a 100 rupee tip, somebody gave him 100 rupees. Now for that person, 100 rupees is joy. Okay. Now for Bill Gates, when he comes across in his car, he gets down from his car and he sees a $100 bill on the road. For him, that $100 makes no meaning, because he can earn much more in 1 hour than that $100 that he has to spend the time to pick it up. In that time, he can earn much more. For him, that $100 does not give him any joy. Okay. Plus, the richer you are, the greater your fear that you will become poor. Okay. If I lose my money, I cannot handle it. If I depend on my money, and if it is all lost, the loss that this person experiences is something too much. That is why people like the people who run away from the country, they run away from the country because that fear of losing all their money is there, fear of being arrested is there. So they run away and live in a hiding. All their money is either stashed up in some bank account which is locked, okay, or their property is there in India which they cannot enjoy. They are hiding somewhere in a place where they are not even known properly. Okay, so for them, the sadness of that loss, all the years they have worked for building up their assets, and in one stroke they have lost it. So the fear of loss is greater. For a person who is used to living in poor conditions, so even if he loses a job, he says, "Koi baat nahi, we will manage," because we are used to hardships. A person who is dependent on money, dependent on gadgets, dependent on things, when he loses those things, that loss is too much, and the person, many people end up committing suicide. Many people commit suicide because they cannot handle that loss. So that constant living in fear of loss. Money not only buys you happiness, it also buys you a lot of sorrow. So tell me, money is happiness or money represents happiness? Is wealth happiness or wealth represents happiness? Is relationship happiness or relationship represents happiness? All the things that we talk about that give you happiness. I think I see somebody raised hands. All the people who say that books give me happiness, travel gives me happiness, adventure gives me happiness. All of them are talking about the same happiness, but through different roads, through different roads. So are the different roads representing happiness, or are the different roads the source of happiness? This is a question. We find that happiness is not money as such. Happiness is what money buys. Happiness is what money buys. Happiness is not money by itself. So money is not the purpose of life. Money represents happiness. That happiness is the purpose of life. And if you tell me that happiness is very short-lived, it does not last long. Therefore, even when we become happy, we lose it. A lot of times, it is our habits that create that loss of happiness. It's our habits that we have grown from childhood onwards. Somebody mentioned ego. Okay, ego is a habit in which you find that you always need to hold on to things. You need to hold on to your name. You need to hold on to your wealth. You need to hold on to your prestige. You need to hold on to your image that you have built around yourself. So that image is so important that in order to keep that image alive, you are willing to sacrifice everything else. I would put ego as nothing but a rigid mind. You get caught up with a set of thoughts or a set of beliefs and thinking, which makes you so rigid that you cannot move this way, you cannot move that way. Okay, a rigid mind is ego. I cannot change. This is the ego which makes you makes it very difficult for you to work for happiness, because happiness is somewhere and my mind tells me go somewhere else. Okay, I am rigid. I cannot move this way. I am not flexible. Because of that, I disown happiness. Some of our habits are habits like anger. In our anger, we say something which destroys our relationship. In our anger, we, rather in our fear, we make wrong decisions about money. If you are in the stock market, a good advice is please manage your greed and manage your fear. If you cannot manage your greed, you will buy at the wrong time, you will sell at the wrong time. If you cannot manage your fear, you will sell at the wrong time, you will buy at the wrong time. Okay? If you want to make profit, learn to balance your emotions, learn to manage your fear, learn to manage your greed. So these are the habits that prevent you from becoming successful. And don't tell me successful people are happy people. Successful people are happy in certain areas of their life, either in their profession or in their relationship. They may be successful. In other things, they need not be successful. So success represents happiness. Success is not happiness. Okay. Yeah. Past experiences also. If you have made some bad investments, you find that you don't want to touch any investment because it reminds you of the past unhappiness. So you will not invest at all. Because of that, you are not getting any dividends. You are not happy putting your money in fixed deposit, and you do not want to take the risk of putting it in mutual funds or something different, because there is past experience. I have burnt my finger. So because we burn our fingers, we give up our search for happiness. If we know that these are the blocks to happiness, we are all adults. We should be able to look into our own problems and do problem solving. What prevents us from solving our problem? Again, the same old friend, Mr. Ego. The ego comes in, and ego has got two parts. One is ignorance. Ignorance, the person is short-sighted. Ego is something short-sighted. Okay, so you do things because you believe it is good for you, but in your short-sightedness, you are not really seeing whether what is good for you is good in the long run or in the short run. When what is good for you in the short run, you hold on to that. You compromise on what is good in the long run. So Mr. Ego is short-sighted. And again, Mrs. Ego is very rigid. She is very rigid. She does not move because I have experience of so many years. I have come to some conclusions, and these conclusions cannot be shaken because it represents my self-image. I've grown up with this thinking. It represents my personality. I cannot give up this type of thinking. So rigidity and ignorance coming together become a shatru. It becomes an enemy for my happiness. So let us see what can keep you happy. What can keep you happy? Remember, if you want happiness, you are the person who can choose. You can choose happiness. You can choose to plan for happiness. You can choose to work for happiness, and you can choose to ask for help so that people can guide you in the right way. You have a lot of choice, but to make use of all this choice, somewhere you have to rely on yourself. If you rely on yourself, you can make the right decisions. If you keep on doubting about yourself, you'll find that you make decisions and then you feel bad about it, and then you cancel it, or it is later on you uh, uh, you know you feel bad. You feel bad and you cancel, or uh, you change your decision in the last minute. If you don't believe in yourself, you will never be happy. This is what Bhagavad Gita says, samshayatma vinashyati. The person who's constantly doubting, the person who constantly lives in fear, the person who is constantly wondering, am I doing the right thing or not, has no self concept. He has no self-respect. He keeps looking down on himself. Such a person will never be successful. It is very difficult for such a person to be happy. So if you want to be happy, start building on yourself. Build your self-respect, build your abilities, build up your strength. So constant exercising. Somebody said health is happiness. I would say yes. If you keep on working on your health, make yourself strong so that when obstacles come, you're strong enough to deal with those obstacles. You'll find it becomes easier to look for happiness. So build up your resources. The more you build up your resources, the more you build up your strengths, the more you're able to make meaningful choices. Yeah. Gratitude is something that makes you feel good about what you have. When you thank the universe for all the things that you received. Thank you, Lord, for giving me a healthy body, for giving me a thinking mind, for giving me resources so that I can work for what I want. When you have that attitude of gratitude, you'll find it is very difficult to be unhappy. You cannot be grateful and unhappy at the same time. Right? So gratitude is a great source of happiness. Empathy with other people. When you empathize with people around you, you are able to feel that pain. The pain that you have experienced in your own life. When you see that pain in others, you are able to empathize with them. And when you empathize with other people, you can work together. When you work together, there is a joy. So sharing, caring, empathy, compassion makes your life lovable, livable. It makes it more happy. They also say, एक अकेला थक जाएगा, मिलकर हाथ बढ़ाना, साथी हाथ बढ़ाना साथी रे. Okay, when we come together, we can share our joys, we can also share our sorrows, we can share our efforts together. A wonderful source of happiness is learning to appreciate what is around you. Learn to appreciate the beauty. Learn to appreciate the design of things. So if you're an engineer, you will appreciate a new model of the car which has got a wonderful design. You're so fascinated with that design. If you are a poet, you look at nature and you're fascinated with the colors of nature. So that fascination with things around you. Take interest in small things. Life contains of a lot of small things. There is only one big thing. When that happens, you are not there. Okay? The only big thing in life is death. When that happens, you are not there to experience it. Everything in life is small. So don't say anything is insignificant. Everything is small, but everything is beautiful. Even the smallest of things have got a beauty which you can appreciate. This ability to see things from different standpoints, have an artistic mind, have a compassionate mind, have a mind which is like a child. A child keeps on exploring things. When you have that childlike mind, you will find every day in your own house, the same objects speaks to you in a different way. So if you are able to connect with the things in your own house, you will find there is a bond that grows. When you love things that are there in your universe, you find there is a joy that you cannot explain. When difficulties come to you, you have a choice to feel bad or to feel ready. You can feel like a victim of circumstances and blame your fate. My fate is bad and I am helpless. I want to work for happiness, but my fate does not allow me to. You have a choice. I will take on this challenge and make my life successful. So don't be afraid of failures. Welcome failures. Failures are good teachers. Welcome difficulties. Difficulties make you strong. I think that is one reason why this Bombay is full of gyms. People go to gyms in order to work out. Okay, you need to work out in order to keep yourself fit. So the more you work out, the more fit you are. When difficulties come to you, you can either say this is a problem or you can say this is a good challenge for workout. So when you see things with that positive attitude, you find your happiness ratio goes up. Okay. A lot of us are we find it below our dignity to do things which are unpleasant work. Unpleasant work we always outsource to our servants, to other people. Okay, the cleanliness of the city, we find that we would rather sit in our comfortable house and watch other people doing all the sweeping and all that. But when it comes to our turn, we find it very difficult for us to do because it is unpleasant. The unwillingness to do the unpleasant. When we are not ready to do the unpleasant, we have to pay for it in terms of unhappiness. When you are willing to take up the unpleasant work, right now it might be unpleasant, but the consequences will be pleasant. So when your eye is on the consequences, you find that unpleasantness becomes something just a routine. It is not unpleasant. If you are used to handling doing unpleasant things, it just becomes a routine. So whatever is difficult, whatever is unpleasant, whatever is boring, the more you say it is boring, it becomes unpleasant. The more you say it is welcome, the boring thing becomes pleasant. So start following up, change your language, Stop using the words unpleasant, difficult, boring. Okay? Anything unpleasant, tell yourself it is challenging. Anything difficult, tell yourself I am exercising myself. Anything boring, tell yourself let me find out what is interesting about it. Everything is interesting, everything is boring. Yeah, so change your attitude. And I have made a certain list of what is happiness and how do you make it a choice. So if you talk about happiness as HAPPINESS, okay, I put H. H is health, health is wealth. So H is the beginning, the first step of happiness. The second step of happiness is A. A is assertiveness. Assertiveness means be sure of what you want, communicate what you want, tell yourself what is important to you, be assertive and follow up and complete what you want. So that is assertiveness. Assertiveness gives you a lot of freedom. If you are not assertive, you find it very difficult to manage your life. Third step, P, H-A-P. P is for perspective. When you see things in the right perspective, everything ugly can also be beautiful from another standpoint. So change your perspective. You have a choice. Okay. The word impossible. Change your perspective. It becomes I am possible. When you say God is nowhere, change your perspective and say God is now here. So P is perspective. The fourth step, HAPP. P is for being practical. Be practical. Don't worry about difficulties. Find a solution and don't say it has to be done like this. Maybe you may have to change the way you do things in order to get the results. So to be practical is to prioritize what is more important and find a way to get it. The fifth step of happiness, I is integrity. Integrity, the more your thoughts, words, and actions are together, the more strength you have. The more your thoughts, words, and deeds are mismatching, somewhere you are making yourself vulnerable, you are making yourself weak. So don't make yourself weaker than what you are. Make yourself stronger than what you are. This is called integrity, right? The sixth step of happiness is nurture yourself. Do things which are healthy for you. Do things which will make you grow. It will not make you weak, make you stronger. Nurture is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The seventh step, HAPPINE. Seventh step, E is emotional balance. Emotional balance gives you maturity. The eighth step, HAPPINES. S is for serenity. Serenity is learn to accept yourself, learn to accept the world. The world is not perfect and that is perfect. I am not perfect and that is also perfect. You are not perfect and that is also perfect. We can manage our imperfections and that is perfect. Okay, so be serene. Do not get unduly upset about things. And the last step is be simple and straightforward. When you're simple and straightforward, life becomes less complicated. When you are more complicated, happiness becomes more complicated. Make your life simple and straightforward. Okay, so H is for health, A is for assertiveness, P is for perspective, P again is for practical, I is for integrity, N is for nurture. E is for emotional balance. S is for serenity. Again, S is for simple and straightforward. So this is, in short, a summary of happiness. And what will give you that happiness is a choice. Choice again is CHOICE. C, the first step is confidence. Choose to trust yourself. When you choose to trust yourself, you build up your confidence. When you choose to doubt yourself, you are breaking your confidence. So choose to trust yourself, confidence. Second step of choice is hope. Never lose hope. Always keep hope. Choose success. Hope for success. Work for success. Right? The third step is be open. Be open. Choose to be open to people. Choose to be friendly. Choose to be lovable. Be open. Do not withdraw. Do not run away from life. Choose to participate in life. Choose to be open to share and care. The fourth step of choice is CHOI. I is for introspection. Look into yourself. Ask yourself, what is hurting me? What is preventing me from reaching my goals? So the more you look inward, keep a diary. That diary will help you to see where you are, where you want to go, and how far you have reached. CHOIC, the seventh step is caring. Choose to care. When you care for your world, when you care for yourself, when you care for others, this is called the principle of responsibility. When you are responsible, you make the right decisions. And the last one, CHOICE. E is for enthusiasm. Take an interest in life. Be enthusiastic about your work. Choose to value things. Choose to value what you have. Choose to value your people around you. Choose to value relationships. The more you do that, happiness will become a simple choice, right? There's a lot more that can be said. I will just end with a couple of quotes that I've read somewhere. Also, something that I have written. One is, make your mind a vehicle for your happiness. Make your mind a vehicle for your happiness. Don't end your life battling with your mind. Don't end your life battling with your own mind. Okay. Visualize the right results. Visualize miraculous results and visualize healthy, fulfilling results. And when you keep doing the right things at the right time in the right way, you will get the right results. Initially, you may not get, but when you keep on doing the right things, in time, definitely you will end up with the right results. Okay. Life is not about winning. Life is about living well. You're living well if you exercise your talents, if you exercise your body, if you exercise your mind, if you exercise your conscience. Keep exercising all your faculties. You will find life becomes beautiful. A nice quotation is about perfection. Perfection can be an inspiration, but let it not be a condition for happiness. Perfection should be an inspiration for you to achieve better things, but let it not be a condition for your happiness. Don't allow perfectionism to destroy your happiness. Make perfection as something to inspire you. Okay, and the last one, happiness is not a condition or a status. Happiness is what you are. Happiness is what you are. It is not a condition. It is not a status. happiness is something that you choose to assign happiness to something. You say money is happy and run after money. Now you can reassign the word happiness to something else. You'll find the happiness now becomes something else altogether. For some people, happiness is sharing and caring. For some people, happiness is collecting. You collect experiences, you collect people, you collect power, you collect money. For other people, giving is happiness. The more you give, the more joy you feel. So happiness is what you assign. Ultimately, the scriptures say happiness is not what you get. Happiness is what you are. Okay, that is a matter for another talk altogether. So if any questions are there, please, you're welcome to ask. And if there is time, I will definitely answer. Thank you very much. Agarwal ji says, nobody can make you happy. Okay, it is, you have to choose it yourself. Very nice.
Acharya, can you please
Happiness is-
repeat the first, third, and fourth one of happiness?
Happiness,
H.
huh? Okay.
First,
Okay.
third, and fourth.
Okay. H is for health. A is for assertiveness. P is for perspective. Okay. Next P is for practical.
Thank you. Thank you. I got others.
You got
Yeah.
the I is for integrity. N is for nurturing. E is for emotional balance. S is for serenity. And the last S is for simplicity and straightforward.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
ये आचार्य जी
हाँ जी बोलिए.
आपने कहा इमोशनल बैलेंस.
Yes.
How it could be achieved, emotional balance? Because human being is always emotional, maybe with relationship.
Okay.
and
आपका
something.
दिल बड़ा होना चाहिए. आपका दिल जितना बड़ा है उतना you can manage your emotions. Okay. If you have love, if you have patience, if you have wisdom, सब कुछ छोटा है, कोई बड़ा चीज नहीं है, सब चीज छोटा ही है. So छोटा है तो everything can be managed. Even anger and fear बड़ा नहीं है, सब छोटा चीज है. आप तो बड़े हैं. ओके, अपने आप पे भरोसा रखो, आप तो बड़े हैं, ये छोटा चीज कोई बात नहीं है. So this can be managed. They are not big issues. You require little knowledge of emotions. You require some help to guide you, and a little bit of your own experiences. Think about your past experiences. Okay, think about how you could have managed your past experiences in a better way. This is called learning from your own experience. आपका खुद का experience से सीखो, and दूसरों के experience से आप सीखेंगे. If other people are managing their emotions, I also can manage. हम भी इंसान है, वो भी इंसान है. वो तो manage कर रहे थे, मुझे क्यों नहीं होता है? So find out what is preventing you and work on that. This is called introspection.
Acharya ji,
हाँ जी, बोलिए.
can I ask one question?
Yes, sir.
While it is good to be empathizing with people, is it possible or should it be that you get attached to him emotionally?
Empathizing and attachment are different things. Attachment is dependence. Okay. If you say attachment in a positive way, attachment is love. That is very positive. Love is positive. But when you say attachment in a negative way, attachment is dependence. So don't depend on people. Okay. You can love people, but don't depend on them. Right? When you empathize, you understand their pain. So you can help them. You can share their emotions. You can tell them, yes, I know how much you feel, right? But you don't have to become dependent on them. Right?
Can a doctor afford? Can a doctor afford to be emotionally attached to a person with whom he empathizes?
Emotionally dependent, no. You don't be. You cannot be objective. You cannot be objective. So I know people. I know doctors who operated on their own mother also. So a person was very objective, even though emotionally attached, but in a positive way, not in a negative way. Right?
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Acharya ji, I had a question. Rajesh
हाँ जी,
here.
बोलिए,
Once
बोलिए.
again.
Yes, Rajesh.
So, yeah, Acharya ji, normally sometimes what happens, yeah, young people, they have conflicting goals in life. So this can lead to a state of happiness. For example, I want to be successful, and in pursuit of success, I have to work very hard, and therefore I am not able to spend time with my family.
Correct.
And this leads to constant quarrels and state of unhappiness.
Right,
So what does one do, especially when we have conflicting goals in life? How do one remains happy?
Okay, the first P is perspective. Perspective, have the right perspective. Everything is important and everything is relative also. Nothing is so important that you can give up everything else. Everything has got a place. Okay, सबको अपना स्थान में सब कुछ अच्छा है. Taken out of place, everything becomes a monster. So don't give extra importance for things which does not deserve it. Have the proper perspective. जिसको जितना रिस्पेक्ट देना है उतना ही रिस्पेक्ट देना. उससे ज्यादा देगा, it becomes a black market value. Don't assign a black market value to anything in your life. Have the proper perspective.
Thank you, Acharya ji. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Acharya ji, can
हाँ
I
जी,
ask you one?
बताइए. जी बताइए.
मैडम अनम्यूट करिए अपने को.
Yeah, now it's okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just want to ask you, I don't know whether it's weird or not, but I just want to ask you, nowadays, like, arranged marriages and even love marriages fail. So you have anything to say about that? Well, means what is the perspective of the children that is going on in their minds?
Basically, we are not trained for marriage.
Okay.
Our children are just not trained for marriage.
Yeah.
Right from childhood onwards, they're pushed into education, learning, marks.
Yes.
Okay? It becomes a one track, and they become doctors and engineers and computers, bankers and all that. They're professionally oriented. They have no idea about relationships. And even when they grow up as children, the parents keep on, they don't nurture the children. They suffocate the children with their love. So the children become tyrants and they start ordering everything. They have high expectations and no sense of responsibility.
Yes, another thing. One sec.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, sorry to interrupt you. Another thing, nowadays the boys, they are very helpful with their wife, which was not there from our time. Okay? Yeah. So now boys are there to understand what they're having problem, so they help each other and all that. But still, ladies, the girls, they are not happy. Still having something or the problem, creating problem.
I think it's both ways. Not only girls, but also boys.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. This is because when they are growing up, they don't learn about responsibilities. They learn only about their privileges. The children who grow up in today's society, they are privileged children. Privileged children, they don't have to work for anything. They get everything free. You have to just demand and it comes to you. And people are so busy. The parents are so busy. They don't have time for the children. So they give gadgets to the children so that the children are busy. Okay, or you keep on putting the children into many classes. So from morning to evening, the child has no time for himself. Right? So
Yeah.
when will they learn about relationships? When they don't learn to live like a family. They're living like bachelors in the family. All the people in a family are living like bachelors. Where is a family altogether?
It's true.
So when they grow up, how are they going to adjust? Right?
Okay, yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Acharya.
Okay, okay.
Sharing and caring is missing these days.
Sharing and caring is
Caring is missing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only sharing and caring, but healthy caring. Healthy
Yes.
caring.
Yes.
It is not healthy caring. We are uh, doing unnecessary things in the name of caring. Okay, we are suffocating our children with love.
Maybe.
Okay, we are
Maybe.
Sir,
suffocating
surrounding,
them with love. So they start demanding love.
sir, surrounding factors make me a lot of unhappiness. They bring me a lot of unhappiness because I
Comparison,
belong
no?
to a family where patriots are there and there's all these sacrifices are going in vain. So whenever I see the situation in the country, I feel very, very unhappy. What to do? If
This
I read the
is,
paper, I feel happy, unhappy. And if
yeah,
I see the television, we feel unhappy. For
okay.
the country, we feel very, very unhappy. What to do?
This is this called the struggle for power. This is all part of politics. Part of politics is to keep on throwing mud at your opponent. If you keep on throwing the mud at your opponent, something will stick. So keep on accusing, right? So this is all part of politics, and it's not a healthy system at all. The things are going from bad to worse. What can be done? I would say is so to find out, identify people in politics who are who believe in healthy politics, and you have to vote them into power. That's the only thing that can be done. But the system has become so corrupt. The system has become so corrupt that the netas are not controlling the nation. The smugglers are controlling the nation. Okay, the underworld is this thing influencing Bollywood. Underworld is influencing the politicians. Underworld is influencing the business people also. So a lot of past history is there. What we have to do is to undo the past. It is going to take time. So what we can do is to live with hope. Never lose hope. Live with hope and find like-minded people and create ideas to find out how to make a better society. I think this is what we have to do.
Start kar do. Acharya sir, Hemanand Saxena.
Haji Anand ji.
Continuous failures in life bring unhappiness. Suppose somebody has some particular goal, and after putting a lot of energy, lot of time, and all interest and everything, and if it does not achieve that goal, so it is quite naturally unhappy. How to bring happiness in their life? That I want.
One thing is somewhere prayer. Prayer is a very helpful way. Prayer, somewhere all that my unhappiness that my burdens that I have, all my unhappiness, please take over. I rely on you, O Lord, to take over my unhappiness. So I trust you. So the more you develop the trust, the more you're able to hand over your troubles to somebody else. So develop trust in even within your own families, so that you can share your burden. Okay, share your burden. What appears to be impossible is just a phase of life. Failures are not permanent. It is just a phase of life. Okay, and you are not a failure. You failed in something. Don't label yourself as a failure. Okay, this is called living with failure. Don't live with failure. Learn to keep moving. Keep moving so that failure is behind you. Don't stick to failure and just be there only.
Thank you, Acharya sir. Thank you.
Learn to trust nature, learn to trust other people, learn to trust the creator. Somewhere things will become better. Failure is never permanent.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
We will take the last question, please. Anything? If there is no question, so thank you, Acharya ji. It was a fascinating session to understand the happiness, the causes of happiness, and how can we make ourselves happy or unhappy. So those acronyms of the happiness and the choice are wonderful. We look forward to having further interactions with you, sir. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you, Acharya sir.